All right, guys, it's Chris Desir here back with another video today, and this is going to be one day at a time, how to get to a better version of yourself. All right, let's get into it. One day at a time. It's all it takes. For wherever you want to get to you in your life, you got to realize it's a journey that you're going through. Things don't happen overnight. If you want to become a millionaire, that takes time. If you want to get to your higher self, that takes time. Everything takes time. People have a tendency to fail at what they're doing is because they don't put in enough time, work, or effort to get into where they want to go and who they want to be. To get to a better you, you got to realize, right? This journey that we go through life is like a race. And trying to win the race in the first step always leads to disappointment. Because, like I said, you don't get from the start of the finish line to the end of the finish line in one step. Nobody does that. Everybody has to run their race, and everybody's running it at their own pace, at their own speed. Just because somebody is quote unquote beating you at the beginning of the race doesn't mean you can't catch them and beat them at the end. But this isn't even a race where you're racing against other people. You also got to make the mind shift and realize that the only person you're really racing against is yourself. And you're trying to beat your own best time. You're trying to get faster and do better than you did in your previous times running. You got to realize that every step will bring you closer to your goal. Rome wasn't built overnight, if y'all know that expression, which means that when you're going through anything in your life, you got to realize there are going to be slow days, there are going to be fast days, there are going to be sad times, there are going to be happy times. You're going to go through this roller coaster of emotions, but you can't let those emotions stop you from doing what you're going to do. You have to. I'm gonna keep it 100 like I always do. I have my days too where I'm extremely productive, and I have my days where I do little to absolutely nothing, right? But you got to snap that mindset. You got to realize that if you really want to get to where you got to go, you have to be as consistent as possible. You got to be as consistent with your goals, with your plans, with your dreams if you want to get to where you got to go. And if you're trying to be chosen, if you're trying to really, really believe in yourself and realize you can do the things you got to do, you have to, dig deep. You have to dig deep and realize, that maybe in the past I wasn't the kind of person who was going to be able to do these kind of things, but now that I'm looking at myself now, I truly realize, even though I don't believe in myself, I still got to try. I still got to make a difference. I have to get something done. And once you get to that mindset and that mind state, nobody can stop you. Just focus on the race and not the finish line. And this is going to be something I talk about later too. Focus on the race itself. You don't want to focus on the finish line. Never focus on the end of the race, because the race will never truly end if you know what you're doing. And this is why 99% of people fail or quit, is because they don't follow these top three things. They're always trying to win the race in the first step. They never realize that, it's one step at a time, and they just focus on the finish line. So people get mad, people get upset. I've done this before in my past, and you've probably done this before in your past too, where you haven't given this person that you know who might be good for you a chance. So you bail on them at the first sign of trouble. You you bail on your team because you bail on tryouts for that basketball team because you got cut that one time. You got cut that one time. So you're like, fuck it, I ain't gonna be good at basketball. I'm just gonna stop and never try again. Things like that. Or you're doing well for the first 1, 2, 3 months, but you're not seeing the results that you think you should have been seeing. So you quit out early and you go back to living the life you was before, and you realizing that that's not what you should have done. I've fallen for that trick myself too. You gotta keep going. You gotta realize things don't happen overnight. You gotta stay in the game. You gotta realize it may take you a year or two, but you have to realize that what you're gonna get at the end is better than what you have now. And this is something I'm continuously trying to drill into my own brain, because I'm here to teach you guys and I'm here to teach myself too. Drill into my own brain that this is a process. It is a never-ending process, and it's supposed to be that way. So if it had happened to you in the past, or if it's still happening to you today, don't worry about it. You still got a chance. Change. This is the biggest thing that happens throughout the race, right? In the race we call life. Change happens. Change will continue to happen. Through your journey, you will experience change. Society has told you a lie when it says stay the same, be yourself, stick true to your roots. Only real ones will love you for who you are. You never stay the same. You never stay constant. You are an always evolving person. You never stay the same. Were you the same 5 years ago than compared to who you are now? Are you the same person you was when you were a baby compared to who you were now? You are always changing. Were you the same 5 minutes ago compared to who you are now? We are always changing physically, mentally, psychologically, spiritually. We are always changing, adapting, shifting creatures. We do not stay the same. And you got to realize, you got to make a shift from a person who doesn't believe in the goals or who doesn't have the patience to do the things that they want to do. You have to make that shift from that kind of person and change into the kind of person you want to be. You got to change into the person who gets things done. You got to change to the person who meditates every day. You got to change into the person who takes care of their family. You got to change into the person who wants to be the best at that they can be at whatever they try to do. You got to change into that person. We are always changing, but you got to make sure that you're changing for the person. You're changing into a better person. Change for the better. Don't change for the worse. And like I said, you're a different person then, and you're better off now compared to when you were before. And we're always moving forward. And now the journey that we're going through, this ever-changing journey that we're going through, is a never-ending journey. The journey only ends when you say it ends. Give you an example. If you want to stay the same lazy, bum, scared person, always doing things that other people tell you to do, always taking the safe route in life, never questioning anything, you know what I mean? If you want to be that person, go ahead and be that person. You can be that person from 20 years old to 60 years old. You can be that person from the day you're born to the day you die. You can stay the exact same way and never see change. Or you could be the person who wakes up one day, does their research, thinks about their life, really take a good look at their life right now and realize, I want better. I want to make a change. I realize what's going on right now here in the world, and I realize what I have to do to survive, to make it, to thrive, and be a better person today than I was yesterday. The journey never ends. There's no end to this journey. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if you accomplish your initial goal. If your initial goal is to make a certain amount of money and you make that amount of money, what happens then? You keep going. You're going to make a new goal and you're going to go further. If your goal was to break your old record, do it again. Break it again. Make a new record. If your goal was to help this amount of people, retire your family, what are you going to do after you retire your family? Start up your own family and try to retire them too. You got to keep going. You never stop. You only stop when you say you want to stop. It's up to you when this journey ends. It doesn't have to end. It doesn't have to end. And people have an innate tendency to want to push forward. The more stagnant you are, there's one or two routes that you can take. When you're a stagnant person, you start to believe in the BS that you've been feeding yourself your entire life. You start to get attached to things. You start to get attached to your namesake. Like if you've been working at a job and you've been doing the exact same thing for the last 10 plus years, You might associate yourself with that job. You are not your job. Let me just make that straight. You are not your job. You are not your career. You are an ever-changing person who can do whatever and be whatever they want to be. You are not defined by what you do. You are not defined by what you do or what position that you take. But you have multiple people walking around in life being defined by that things. They think just because they've been working in a gym all their life that they couldn't start over again and learn how to do plumbing or learn how to do marketing or any of these other things. You have these people who played basketball and thinking that they couldn't start over again and learn how to do soccer, play another sport, try singing, become an actor. You can change. You got to realize, like I said, you're on an ever-changing journey. But when you have people who stick and just hold to whatever they've been doing for the longest period of time and just say, yep, I'm defined by that. That's what I do. I can't do anything else. You have limited yourself. You have limited yourself. There is no net of safety. There is no, I've done this for 40 years. Now I'm safe. Now I can stop and just relax. There is no relaxing in this journey. The race, when you say the race is over, it's over for you. When you've completely thrown in the towel and said, I don't want to change anymore. I have no willpower to change who I am or where I want to be. It's over for you. You're done. You're done. And what happens after that? You're going to start to realize that you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel empty inside because we as humans have this innate ability and this innate want to do better in our lives. You're going to start to feel that emptiness. There's a reason why most people, when after they retire, they die within 5 to 10 years after they retire from their jobs, because that urge to move better and go forward, it never goes away. It's an innate human, it's part of human nature. We love to strive for better things, to do more and do better. But society has programmed us to want to stay stagnant, stick to one thing and do that one thing. It's not how it actually works. You can do that route or you can do the other. The other route is you're always changing and evolving. You're always looking for new opportunities. You're always keeping yourself busy with things that actually matter. Don't just do a bunch of random things to do a bunch of random things. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you're always going to a higher and better version of yourself. You're always improving. Don't think that just because you figured out what's going on in the world at 20 something years old, there's nothing else to learn. You will be able to learn your entire life, because you got to realize that nobody really knows anything. Don't think you're 20 years old and just because you know more than this one guy who's 30, 40 years older than you, you've learned everything. I don't care if you know you do know more things than most people in your town or most people in your city. You have an entire lifetime to keep on learning. There is an infinite source of knowledge out there, and you can continuously learn more and adapt and grow and become a better person. The journey doesn't end. The journey ends when you say it ends. And usually when you say your journey ends, your life ends not too far after that. So be careful what you wish for. This is a journey that I'm going through. This is a journey that you're going through. And this is the journey that we all have to work together to get through and get by. Always, always, always keep that hope, keep that self-responsibility, keep that fire burning in you alive to do what you got to do, because I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Well, this has been Chris Desir. And listen, if you guys want to talk with me, click the link in the description below. If you guys want to have that one-on-one time with me, where I can help you personally figure out what you want to do in your life, figure out where you should go and what next steps you should take, let me know. Click the link in the description and set out an appointment date with me. But this has been Chris Desir, 100 Agency. Catch you guys next time.